Yeah, man. Y'all already know what it is. Ain't nobody in here. But I'm going to act like there is people in here. I'm just going to talk and talk and talk until I can't talk no more. Y'all, welcome to another episode of that D. YouTube got new rules now. D, let's take a look. Where we connect the dots. Yeah. What's good? What's good? What's good? Melanin Express and a boo in the building. Let me put some light in this thing. Put some light in this thing. Stop playing with me. Look, I'm gonna get straight to it, man. I got time to be playing no games, man. I got time to be playing no games, man. All right, so look how Sage works. What does it do? Yeah, everybody, I'm saying, check it out. Thank you, J Love. I appreciate it. Post that. Yeah, I'm back, man. I was on a little hiatus. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's get to it, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I don't like? I don't like when you click on a video, right? And people just start talking about all kind of others. YouTube got new rules now. All kind of other stuff that you that's not what you clicked on the video for. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm explaining why I'm not doing that, I'm doing that. Don't worry about it. So Sage, man, if you are a subscriber to this channel, I'm pretty sure you have heard of Sage or use Sage. And we, for the most part, what do we know about Sage? We know that it cleanses the environment. It clears or gets rid of bad negative energy, right? You know what I mean? That's what we know about it. Okay. Um, Cool, 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 cool. But how? How does it work? Like, how does it work? And without going into the scientifical, mathematical, magical part of it, we're just gonna, get to the mundane. And if you ever use Sage, I'm pretty sure you can relate to, um, what I'm about to say. So when you burn sage, it has a very distinct smell. And remember, when you're dealing with the smell, you are dealing with the senses. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with one out of the five physical, mundane senses. So there's one clue to let you know that you're dealing with something that has some type of magical potency to it. You're also dealing with two of the elements. Actually, you're dealing with three of the elements. So there's another clue that you're doing something magical. Okay. So when I'm saying that you're burning sage, you're actually dealing with earth because the sage is an earth element. You're actually dealing with the element of fire because you have to burn the sage. So it has to be some fire that's put to the earth. And you're actually using some type of uh alchemy by uh, transforming the earth into an air element. Okay, so oops, I'm tripping. So back at it. Thank you. So you're doing something that's a magical ritual. Okay, so when you burn the sage, the smell is distinct, but also the feeling of it is distinct because it's a heavy smoke. All right. And usually if you burn the sage and you sage your dwelling and you sage yourself, that smoke is sticky. Because if you ever saged yourself and then went out somewhere, you still smell the sage on you. Very powerful and very, very potent, right? Even if you take a shower, you can kind of smell the sage lifting off of you because it's a very sticky thing. And what I noticed or what I come to actually realize about that is since it is sticky like that, what it's actually doing, it's it's attaching itself to the non-physical. So if you're in a room, and remember, when you're dealing with energies that are not physical, they're there. They can't be seen, but they're there because you're dealing with electricity and magnetism. And you know what I'm saying? So any type of energy, spirit being or non-physical being is electrical, magnetical, or magnetic, or electromagnetic. That's because that's what everything boils down to, is electricity and magnetism. So what's happening is the smoke from the sage itself is physical, but it's sticky enough to attach itself to the non-physical energy and bring it from non-physical to the physical realm, because of the smoke itself is very, very sticky. So when it brings the non-physical energy into the physical realm by attaching itself to it, it weighs it down. It weighs it down and either, sticks to fabric, and or falls to the floor, or goes into the wall, or whatever it is. But that alchemical process of attaching itself to something non-physical and bringing it into the physical, that's alchemy. Alchemy is when you change one state to another state. So basically the sage is taking an alchemic role by attaching itself to the non-physical, bringing it into the physical, weighing it down and making it dense, and then dissipating, because the smell goes away. Remember, alchemy is changing. So the smoke attaches to the non-physical, brings it to the physical, and then dissipates, because eventually the smell will go away. It evaporates. That evaporation process is actually removing the bad energy. Okay. Sometimes, sometimes it can remove good energy as well. It's possible. 9 times out of 10 it doesn't, because your intention is there, but it can. So that's why it's also important that if you do sage, you should have sweetgrass. Sweetgrass, or burning sweetgrass, also invites good energy. You know what I'm saying? Good energy, or keeps the good energy. So it's good to burn sage and sweetgrass. All right. So that's the metaphysical on that. Okay. So let's just talk about what actually sage is. Sage is a salvia. And if you know anything, what made me want to talk about sage, because because anytime how can I put it? Anytime you move somewhere, or or put yourself in a new dwelling, you should sage that place, because you don't know who was there before you. That's why. Okay. So sage is a salvia. And if you know anything about smoking a salvia, now I don't recommend you smoke sage, but if you know anything about a salvia, salvias are a spiritual tool that will take you to the spirit realm real quick, real fast. Okay. Just keeping it 1,000. All right. So it is a salvia. So that's how you do know that the plant itself is a spiritual plant, off the top and off the rip. Okay. Just looking at a couple of notes. It's mainly found in the coastal regions, Southern California, Baja California, the Mojave and the Sonoran deserts. Um, One thing that it does do, it actually cleans and kills bacteria. So kind of going back to what I was saying the about pulling the negative energy and making it physical. I did a video about the spiritual aspects of bacteria, because in reality, bacteria is nothing but spirits. Even in my alcohol video, I talk about that. So what sage does is, just based off of the components of what it's made out of, it it cleans up. It says here it cleans up 94% of airborne bacteria in a space, and disinfects the air when it's burned. It also releases negative ions. Now, what's interesting about negative ions? Negative ions actually have positive effects, because um, um, it's kind of hard to explain. Negative ions have more electrons in it. It has more electricity. I know that sounds weird. How can negative ions have more electron? It has more electrons than protons. Okay, that's just how it is. So the effects that negative ions have on the body, it pretty much enhances the body because you're adding more electricity to the body. Just like if you're eating more electric foods, like Dr. Sabi. Sabi talks about electric foods, but foods isn't the only way to get a good electricity in your body. And the sage actually puts more electricity in your body. But kind of going back to what I said earlier, that everything in its existence is based off of electricity and magnetism. Okay. They're just two different sides of the energy flow. They're actually the same thing. Electricity and magnetism actually are the same thing, but one is just on one polarity and the other is on another polarity. They're not either good or bad, positive or negative. They're just different polarities of a certain type of energy frequency. All right. See what else we got in Nerdville about sage. They say that it that it enhances or improves the mood, which that will make sense if it's adding more electrons to your body. That would definitely make sense. Um, it says that some research shows that salvia, which is sage, can enhance cognition and alertness. Well, again, going back to adding electrons to the body makes you a more efficient processor, pretty much. Remember, this is all about electricity and magnetism. Your body is the exact same way. You are electricity. If your heart stopped right now, they would jumpstart that. YouTube got new rules. I want to say a whole bunch of funny. All right. But they will jumpstart it with a jumper battery, pretty much electrical pulse, jumpstart that thing and get it cracking. Okay. Um, burning sage is a ritual for sure. Different cultures have different rituals with sage, and most importantly, the Native Americans. But don't get it twisted when you hear that phrase, Native Americans. We know who that is. Stop playing. Native Americans. I got Indian in my family. We all do. Stop playing. And if you look up the definition of American, it's the coppered people of North America, the coppered colored people. You dig? Stop playing with me. Let's see what the people is chiming in to talk about. We got my boy Stellar Regime in the building. Scorpion King, the prophet. My boy said, is the moon video still cooking? Brother, I was cooking. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? I was cooking. That's why you ain't heard from me. You know what I'm saying? For real. You know? 2020. No, 2019. Woo! 2019 was an emotional roller coaster, man. I've seen the happiest I've been. I've seen the saddest that I've been. I've been in the roughest place that I've ever been at in my life. I've seen almost every extreme every extreme point that I could possibly think of, I seen in 2019. And the later that it got in the year, the more extreme it got. So, I would like to say to the family, excuse my absence, but not excuse my absence, because the matrix is real. We here in it, and navigating through it sometimes consumes your attention because you have to deal with it. And that's how you know somebody real, if you don't see them. So, let that be a lesson. You know what I'm saying? If you have friends that, you may have lost contact with for a while or something, and you just don't speak no more, that doesn't mean that, they don't care about you or it ain't cool no more. It just means that, they're handling their business or whatever they got to handle. And when it's time for paths to cross back across each other, then it will. And everything happens when it's supposed to. And, speaking of paths, I asked for this, you know what I'm saying? If you do remember, I don't know if anybody really pays attention to my videos or the sequence of which I do my videos, but if you actually go through them like a timeline, it's a story, you know what I'm saying? So I dropped a few series called what was it called? Crossroads or Yeah, Crossroads. Where I was talking about paths and having the choice. And I actually put out there a challenge to the family, like, look, let's start creating our paths. Let's just start doing wild things on the fly and just taking off to the right when we should have went left and just to see what happens because there's different possibilities when you're dealing with the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is nothing but the realm of possibilities. You know what I'm saying? So I really was talking all that. YouTube got new rules. I can't even say all that. You know what I'm talking about. YouTube got new rules. But I was talking all that, and I did it. And not even trying to do it. It just happened. So long story short, I'm getting to y'all right now and confess. I'm venting and confessing. You know. So these are my confessions. Nah, Paul, first of all, no Usher, okay? No Usher on that. So so I took all kind of crazy turns, man. And the universe, at the end of the day, the universe, no matter what kind of low point that I actually stumbled upon, you know, employment problems, relationship problems, just all kind of shit hit me like a ton of bricks. The universe just said, yo, I got your back. The story is already written. You ain't gonna fall. You know what I'm saying? So, which leads me into 2020. And if anybody has tapped into the Facebook chamber of things that of matters, you would know that uh, that 2020 is bringing nothing but manifestations. It all started at the end of 2019 and going into 2020. The manifestations that I'm having and other people that I do know are having are coming quick and strong. So whatever's going on in this part of the shift, in this leg of the shift, is real strong. So be very, very mindful and very, very careful of what you put your attentions towards. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real in the field right now. It's real in the field. And if you really want an example of how real it is, look at all the distractions they throwing at you. Motherfuckers going to war. War? Where y'all shooting and killing them. Like, where does this come from? Distractions to keep you from being focused on yourself. That's the key. In 2020, your focus moving forward should be nothing is selfishness, but in a good way. Selfishness or selflessness, however you want to put it, because that's the only way you're going to unlock your power is to really focus on yourself and where you are. Get rid of all outside distractions. That's not the business right now. And if you are going to be around other people, be around other like-minded frequencies and vibrations. If you're not around like-minded frequencies and vibrations, that's not flying in 2020. Not at all. You did. Now, this video started off about some sage and turned into something else. Okay? All right? All right. I done ran my mouth 19 minutes. I know that ain't nothing. Bobby Hemmett talks for 9 hours. Brother Panic talks for 12, 13 hours. Can't do it. Ain't got that much to say. But I will be tapping in more frequently. I'm back. I'm back on my square. And yeah. Before I dip out, man, I don't know if people really been trying to unlock the codes to the mystery school. Okay. I'm a loosen up the riddle. I'm gonna loosen it up. Okay. I might do it tonight. I'm gonna loosen the riddle up so people can have access to the chambers, man. I got a couple of emails requesting that the riddles not be so potent. It's okay. Some people got it. Some people got into the chambers and did what they had to do. So, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta keep the chambers popping, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna loosen up the riddle, man, so people can get in there and explore the different chambers that we got popping. And we're gonna take it from there. So until next time, much love, much respect, peace. Peace to the family. You know what I'm saying? Peace to y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like from the bottom of my heart, I love everybody that that chimes in on the frequency, man. You know what I'm saying? We all part of the same purpose, the same movement, the same soul group, man. That's why we here, man. And it ain't just us, man. And everybody that's in the community, man. I love y'all. Everybody from Tiffany Messenger, Masterly Foolish, Brother Panic, Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, even Sinetter, um, Young Pharaoh, Seti, uh, Jabari, Polite, um, A.A. Rashid, you know what I'm saying? The Pills, Brother Rich, everybody, man, on the frequency, man, trying to bring that new twist and that new leg of this shift, man. Man, salute to y'all. I love y'all, man. And a lot of other people that I can't name right now because I'm hungry. You know, when you're hungry, you turn into another person. You know what I'm saying? You're just not yourself when you're hungry. You know, I'm not myself right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this nutrition in my body and the fan, man. Go on.